here. Give it a couple minutes, another minute. So yeah, just keep on the side that you normally hold him, and then just make sure he's kind of facing the camera if you can. Obviously, he's not going to do it exactly, but hello, everybody, and welcome to Meet the Dog. I'm Chris. With me today is my co-worker, Aniela, and joining us today is Crusher. Crusher is from the Tribbles litter. His parents are Trip and Bianca. He was born back in March 2022, so he's a little over a year old now. He eats twice a day. I believe he's getting 2 cups now, actually, 2 cups each. He's a very good boy. He's doing very well in his training. He's doing very well with his, especially with his pace. He's got a fantastic pace, and he's doing quite well with his bracing. The one thing that he needs some real work on, though, is he likes to lean when you're walking with him. Even when he doesn't have the vest on, he'll just kind of lean on us while we're walking around the farm. He's a very sweet boy. He looks a lot like his uncles Frank and Melvin. Yes. So I'm gonna open it up to any questions about Mr. Crusher. All right. Question about Mr. Crusher, and I'll try to think of some things in the meantime. Like I said, he looks a lot like his uncles Frank and Melvin. We used to separate him from the rest of his litter by he has a little, you can't see it now obviously, but he has a little white tip on his tail. And that's how we used to tell him apart from the rest of his litter, especially because we had a lot of black dogs in that one, and not all of them had some distinctive facial markings. He is currently, I think, in kennel 12, but we're going to be moving him over to ice for the night. He generally gets along pretty well with everyone generally everyone we put him with. Especially his siblings, he gets along pretty well with them. Anything else that I can think of off the top of my head? Any questions you might have? What's wrong, buddy? You want to go back in? It is fairly hot out here right now. Barb V asks, is Crusher more outgoing or reserved? That's a good question. Honestly, I think it depends on what kind of a mood you get him in. He can be a bit of a brat, a bit outgoing, a bit vocal. Not as much as some of his siblings. He's definitely a lot quieter than, say, Deanna or Riker. So compared to them, he's definitely a lot more reserved. But he does have his moments where when you let him out to play, he'll be going a mile a minute. Pico asks, how much does Crusher weigh? Oh, I forgot to get that. I believe he is around 121 or 130 now. I couldn't find the exact weight, but I think last time we weighed him, he was in that ballpark of 120 to 130. Crafty asks, how is he on overnights? How is he like his parents? I have not taken him on any overnights. I think not a lot of the Tribbles have gone on overnights. I think the last one he went on was when he got neutered, and I heard heard a pretty good report about that. As for how he is like his parents, he definitely looks like his mom's side of the family. Like I mentioned, he looks like his uncles, so he definitely has more of his mother's face. He has a bit of her personality too. I don't know Trip all that well, so I can't really speak to how Crusher is like Trip. But he is definitely like Bianca in some of the ways he tries to get attention. Barb V, does he have a favorite location to play? Not that I've noticed. I don't think he particularly has a favorite location. Generally, Flatfield, Puppy Hill, the pond, he enjoys those. Dogs in general tend to not enjoy the arena that much. But I don't think he necessarily has a favorite location. Crafty asked, are his siblings his main playmates? Yes. We obviously we try to shake it up a bit and put the Christmas in the Tribbles together. But generally, actually, no, he does actually play with the Christmas girls quite a bit now that I think about it. Especially Sister. I put him with Sister quite a bit. I also put him with Sandy because he's pretty, as I mentioned before, he can be a bit more reserved, so he's a bit of an easier playmate, which for Sandy that is incredibly helpful. Pico asks, how is Crusher with traffic? When I was looking at the training notes, it didn't seem like he was doing super well with traffic. I don't think it's like a problem, but it's definitely something that's going to need a bit more work before he can finally go out. Yeah, it didn't look like it was like a crippling issue. I would call it that it's going to keep him from going out, but definitely something they need to polish up. What is Barb V asks, what is something I love about Crusher? What is there not to love about Crusher? He's just a real good kid. He's very friendly. A bit whiny for my tastes. If you're wondering how he takes after his father, that's how he takes after his father. But he's a very gentle dog, especially if you got him one-on-one. He's very gentle, very relaxed. When he's out on the hill playing, that's another story. But I keep saying it, but he reminds me a lot of his uncles Frank and Melvin, and I love those two dearly, and I think I really see them reflected in him. So that's something I truly love about him. And I hope that he becomes you know what, I don't just hope, I think he will. I think he will become an excellent service dog, just like they did. Alright. Amber.co, thank you for doing this. I love getting to know the dogs better. He is gorgeous. Yes, he's a very gorgeous dog. All the Tribbles are. He is definitely one of the, I think he is the tallest of the Tribbles, I want to say. Yeah, I think he's probably the biggest out of the Tribbles, or at least tied for the biggest. Spock is pretty big, but I think Crusher might have like a half-inch on him. What's wrong, boy? You want to go back in? You tired? It's okay. We're only going to be out here for a couple more minutes. Alright, I'm going to give us a few more minutes for any last-minute questions about Mr. Crusher. Barb V, what kind of a role model would he make for a younger dog? That's an interesting question. As I mentioned before, he's very good about being, when he's not out playing, he's very good about being kind of calm and reserved. In his pace, I said it earlier, but his pace is excellent. He has a great pace when you're walking him. He doesn't really pull that much. When he does pull, he's very easily corrected. I would say if he had to role model for another dog, Definitely his walking, the leading, of course, that needs some work on. But just his pacing is really just what we're looking for in these dogs. He really stays with you, corrects well when he pulls. So if he was a role model for a younger dog, I would say it would be in that aspect. Crafty asks, how is he similar and different from the Christmas litter? They have the same father. I would... Specifically, the Christmas boys, he is a lot more relaxed than the Christmas boys. He is pretty similar to Wallace, his older half-brother Wallace. They are pretty similar in their demeanor. The Christmas litter are a lot more rambunctious, though. The Tribbles, obviously, they have their moments. They take after their mother Bianca, so they can be a bit bratty. But the Christmas litter are very much like they are go, go, go. You can let them out and you can keep them out and they will keep going. Crusher, he has his days where he's like that, but normally he's a pretty... you can give him a break and he'll be fine. Let's see. I'll give it one more minute for any last minute questions. Pico asks, will any of the up-and-comers be good for a child? That, I think that's more of a Lynn question. Because I know we've matched... his uncle Melvin went to someone quite young, and Melvin is probably bigger than he is. So there's definitely a precedent for it. But I don't know if any of our current litter, if they have the right stature for it, if they have the right personality for it. So that's definitely more of a Lynn question for like on maybe it's a wrap or something like that, or one of the other talks that we do. Demeanor wise, I think all of them or maybe not all of them, but a lot of the current dogs could probably go to a child, but I don't know like what other factors would go into deciding that. So I think that's definitely more of a Lynn question, unfortunately. But demeanor-wise, definitely a lot of our up and comers would definitely have the demeanor for it, I would say. That is all the time we have. Thank you all for tuning in, and we will be back next week with another dog. Have a good night, everybody.